Dear friends, good morning. I have decided to make a city tour video of the areas of Istanbul that a tourist is most likely going to see. What better place to start than Taksim Square then? Located in Beyoğlu in the European part of the city, Taksim Square is a major tourist and leisure district famous for its restaurants, shops, and hotels. It's considered the heart of modern Istanbul. Taksim Square is also where the Republic Monument, inaugurated in 1928, is located. The monument is the work of the Italian sculptor Pietro Canonica and was made to commemorate the 5th anniversary of the Turkish Republic. Taksim Square is also where Istiklal Avenue begins. Historically known as the Grand Avenue of Para, it acquired its present name after the Republic was declared in 1923. Istiklal means independence in Turkish. It is a pedestrian street, and it starts at Taksim Square, and it ends at the northern end of the Galata neighborhood. It is 1.4 kilometers long. Istiklal Avenue is flanked by Ottoman-era buildings of the 19th and 20th centuries in a variety of styles, spanning from the neoclassical to Art Deco to Renaissance Revival to Art Nouveau. If you happen to visit Istiklal Avenue, I suggest to explore all the side alleys. Some of them are very interesting. What you see here is the Çiçek Passage, or Flower Passage, which is full of lively restaurants and taverns. Let's go inside. The reason why it is called Flower Passage is because after the Russian Revolution in 1917, many impoverished noble women opened flower shops here. Originally, the site was occupied by a theater, but after a fire destroyed it in 1870, a Greek Ottoman banker purchased the theater and rebuilt it in its current design. In 1988, it was restored and reopened as an arcade of bars and restaurants. There are several of these gallerias in Istiklal, but this one is undoubtedly the most beautiful. I couldn't shoot a video about Istiklal Avenue without showing the red iconic tram. have never seen so many shops selling candies and pastries. It's a real paradise for people with a sweet tooth. Look at these many different varieties of baklava. What you see there at the end of the road is the Virgin Mary Orthodox Church. And this is the biggest Catholic church in Istanbul, the St. Anthony of Padua Church. Istiklal Avenue is so architecturally eclectic. It is really a potpourri of styles that I am unable to identify. We have arrived at the end of the road. Here there are two possibilities. Either you take that street you see over there and cross the whole Galata neighborhood, or you can skip all that entirely by taking the funicular that will land you directly past the aforementioned neighborhood. The medieval citadel of Galata has been a colony of the Republic of Genoa between 1273 and 1453. The famous Galata Tower that we will see later was built by the Genoese in 1348 at the highest point of the citadel. Here is the entrance of the Mevlevi Lodge Museum. The Mevlevi order is a Sufi order founded in the Turkish city of Konya in the 13th century by the followers of Rumi, a Persian poet, mystic, and theologian. And here we have the Galata Tower, one of the iconic landmarks of Istanbul. Built in the Romanesque style by the Genoese, who had a colony in that area. After the Ottoman conquest, it was first turned into a prison, and later it was used to look out for fires. It measures 67 meters in height. This is called Hendek Street, and it goes from the Galata Tower all the way down to a neighborhood called Şişhane. It's full of cafe and pastry shops. We are now at the end of Galata and entering the Karaköy quarter that occupies the northern mouth of the Golden Horn. The Galata Bridge links it to the Eminönü quarter, which we will visit later. Karaköy is one of the oldest and most historic districts of the city and is today an important commercial center and transport hub. At the very heart of Karaköy lies Mumhane Street. It's maybe the street that attracts the highest number of young people. It's full of cafes, bars, restaurants, and has a very vibrant nightlife. I find this place absolutely delightful. You can't get bored here. Furthermore, this is the neighborhood where Balık Ekmek, the delicious fish sandwich, has originated. This is the area where I am staying and I absolutely love it. It is now the following day and I have crossed the Golden Horn. I am now in the Eminönü neighborhood of the Fatih district. When you get off the tram, the first place you stumble upon is Eminönü Square, with the Rüstem Pasha Mosque at one end, and both the Egyptian Bazaar and the new mosque at the other. As you move towards the interior of the quarter, you arrive at this lovely square nestled between the new mosque and the Spice Bazaar. It has a fountain in the middle, a bronze statue dedicated to the Simit seller, and two identical statues of the Janissaries. What you're seeing here is the mausoleum of the turban Hatice Valide Sultan, the queen mother of Sultan Mehmet IV. And now we are entering Hamidi Çadezi, which is the main street of Eminönü. Eminönü, historically known as Parama, is a predominantly commercial waterfront area of Istanbul within the Fatih district near the confluence of the Golden Horn with the southern entrance of the Bosphorus Strait and the Sea of Marmara. This beautiful orange building is the Isbank Museum. The entrance is free. Eminönü means in front of justice. The name probably derives from the presence of the Ottoman courts and customs houses on the dock. Most of the buildings are occupied by shops, workshops, offices, restaurants, and cafes. Very few people actually reside here. The construction you see there is actually a fountain. Outside every Ottoman mosque, there is always a fountain for people to drink or wash before prayer. In this beautiful Ottoman building, the Commodity Exchange of Turkey is housed. And this is the Legacy Ottoman Hotel, maybe the best hotel in Istanbul. And here is the burial place of another sultan, Abdülhamid I, who ruled over the Ottoman Empire from 1774 until 1789. We have finally arrived at the end of Eminönü. Beyond this road, we have the Sirkeci neighborhood, and what you see there is the end station of the Orient Express. Inside there is a museum that one can visit. Following this road, one arrives to the pier where the ferry to the Asian side can be taken. Today, the traffic in this area is worse than horrific. We have arrived now to the area which is by far the most visited by tourists in Istanbul, the Sultanahmet neighborhood. The first thing you see after you get off tram number 1 is the beautiful German fountain, gifted by the German Emperor Wilhelm II. Past the fountain, the esplanade where the Byzantium Hippodrome once stood reveals itself to the visitor. Even though the bleachers do not exist anymore, the presence of the obelisk of Theodosius and the walled obelisk still stand as a reminder. We are now in Sultanahmet Square, which consists of a beautiful garden separating Hagia Sophia on one side from the Blue Mosque on the other. Here we see the mausoleum where Sultan Ahmed I is buried alongside his extended family. right stands the Hurrem Sultan Hammam, built by Roxolana, the wife of Suleiman the Magnificent. It is by far the most expensive bathhouse in Istanbul, costing a whopping €96 for a full treatment. Walking downhill, between Sultanahmet Square and the shores of the Sea of Marmara, lies an absolutely gorgeous neighborhood made entirely of old Ottoman houses that have been restored, painted in many different beautiful colors, and turned into boutique hotels, cafes, shops, and restaurants. The restaurants you find in this area are by far the most expensive in Istanbul. And I don't mean a little more expensive, I mean double the price. And the food isn't very good either. This you see here is the Arasta Bazaar. It is a miniaturized version of the Grand Bazaar, but with better quality goods in my opinion. It belongs to the Blue Mosque, and the rent paid by the store owners are used for the maintenance of the mosque.